I'm joined by Solly Moeng, Brand Reputation Management Advisor at DonValley. Solly, thank you for joining us. You know, it strikes me that if you have to do damage control and explain what you were trying to say, you've probably missed the mark in trying to get your messaging across. But if we look at that poster, and we're going to bring it up again now for our viewers, the wording is quite clear. It says the ANC called you racist, we call you heroes. On first look at that poster, what is the message that comes across?
Well, first of all, it's where does the message come from? I mean, the DA needs to know and acknowledge, if it hasn't done so already, that it has this big race shower hanging over its head. And I'm not saying it's deserved, but the fact is there are perceptions out there that the DA, whatever it does, whenever important or senior black leaders leave the party, it's always assumed that it's because of race issues within the DA. So when it plays in that kind of area, it needs to think first. I don't know it used to be said that the DA has the best strategists in South Africa, politically speaking, but they clearly didn't work out. They didn't do all the scenario planning properly here. They should have said, if we say this, what could possibly be thrown back into our face, and how do we respond to that? And clearly there was no homework done here. And it's I don't think the DA is racist, but it just played into the hands of people who will use this to say, aha, you see, here they are again. And that's exactly what's happening.
And I think if you just look at the words on the poster, don't even think about that it comes from the DA, but on a very, there are two options here for me. It's either a specific message about what happened in Phoenix, where some of the community members were called racist, and in fact were not. But the reality is that there were people who are now standing trial for murder who allegedly conducted racial profiling. So in other words, if you were black and you drove into Phoenix, there were some vigilantes who actually targeted those people. That's the allegation. This matter's not even resolved. The problem is, it's either specifically relating to the good people who are unfairly called racist, or it's a general blanket statement, which equates, in my mind, to, if the ANC says you're a racist, you're not a racist, you're our hero. I don't know what to make of it. I'm so confused every time I look at that poster. What do you think most people are going to make of that messaging?
Well, many people have already shared their opinion on social media and all over the place throughout the day in South Africa. If had I been the strategist for the DA, I would have said, don't even go there, don't even touch that. That's because there are two sides now. There are racists, or whoever they are, and there are heroes. Who defines who's racist and who's a hero on what basis? The DA should never play on this card. This one, it got wrong, and it deserves what it's getting. The thing is, it's a lot more complicated than that. The fact of the matter, whether we like it or not, and we in South Africa need to have these difficult conversations, the people who are going around destroying businesses are black people, okay? We must talk about that. They're not white people. Most of them are black people. So Phoenix is is an Indian-dominated area. So they saw these people who were destroying businesses, looting, stealing, and all that, who were black people, we have to call it what it is, coming to them. So the Indian people in Phoenix saw black people attacking them. So obviously they started shooting at and defending themselves against that. It's easy in South Africa, given the history, that it's going to be seen as racist. So it's a very, very complex matter. We mustn't run away from the fact that the looters were black, okay? We mustn't run away from the fact that the people who live in Phoenix are mostly Indian people. And we mustn't run away from the fact that these Indian people, for whatever reason, said, damn, black people are coming here, they're coming to hurt us, let's defend ourselves. So I don't want to think that, if we simplify this thing to say, oh, Indian people just wanted to shoot at black people, therefore they're racist, it's just simple. The fact is, murder is murder is murder. Those who kill people should be punished, and they are correct to be arrested. There's no doubt about it. But were they doing it on the basis of racism? I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's a lot more complicated than that. The DA shouldn't have played there.
Yeah, I agree. It's an incredibly complicated issue. Solly, I want you to stay with us because we've actually got the piece that our reporter in the area put together where she explains that peace committees in Phoenix are accusing the DA of causing further divisions with that poster campaign. Opposition, of course, severely criticised for that poster. 36 people, let's not forget, were killed in that area during the civil unrest in July. Let's take a listen to Letiwe Mdluli's report.
The DA has been accused of fanning racial tensions in Phoenix by putting up these posters. 36 people from nearby townships like Inanda, KwaMashu and Bambai were killed in the area during the civil unrest. Peace committees working in these communities say the DA is using this as a political stunt.
It is so unfortunate and really horrible, should I say, that such a poster is being put in Phoenix, calling people who had been involved in violence heroes. Look, the law has not completed its course in terms of the court case and so on. So I'm not sure who's the hero and who's the zero in this case here. And certainly the DA are the zeros because they are now undermining the good work that community organizations have been putting here. During the violence, not one member of the DA was in the front line of what is happening. We had to broker the peace and negotiations, and we have built the trust for 3 months right now. This is going to take us back to another 3 months.
The ANC in the province says the DA has shown no respect for the lives lost during the unrest, and it's looking at ways to act against the opposition.
We are consulting with our leadership and those who know the law, whether legally can there be basis of us pursuing the matter with the IEC, and we see from there how we'll move forward. But it's a clear, cheap political stunt of the DA trying to gain votes.
Police Minister Bheki Cele has also condemned the posters.
For you to come and put extra salt of racism on this matter, for me, I had always had my doubts about it, John Stacey. I don't have a doubt now. I'm flabbergasted about him. To me, he's nothing else. He's a thug. He's a political criminal that the nation must deal with him as such. He has no conscience. He has no brains whatsoever.
But the DA doesn't think it's done anything wrong.
The only people who are attaching race or race baiting on this is the ANC itself, because they know that those 2 points in the posters are entirely true. The first one is that for the last 3 months, they have been running around the province, blaming any and everyone except themselves, saying that people who defended their homes, defended their properties in all communities were racists. And that was obviously to distract from the ANC-sponsored looting.
The DA says it's not promoting racial tensions, but instead is calling out the governing party for the mess it made. Letiwe Mdluli, Durban.
And Solly, we also have to note that the DA Joburg mayoral candidate, Mpho Phalatse, she wants those posters taken down. What would your advice be to the DA? Should those posters come down?
Yeah, absolutely. The DA should take those posters down. It should apologize because, you know, this is political opportunism for the DA ahead of the elections, which is understandable, but which is also so wrong, so miscalculated. Because what they're really saying is you people who are Indian in Phoenix, because we should call it what it is, you killed black people, 46 black people. You are heroes. That's so wrong. I mean, they should apologize. I honestly, I have to say this. I don't believe that the DA is a racist party. I think that they're just so clumsy. They just don't understand the mood in the country. Sometimes they do and say the wrong things. I don't think that Sennhausen is a racist man. I mean, what the Minister of Party is saying is also political opportunism because they're all heading towards elections, okay? But the DA shouldn't have done this. The DA should not have played this card because itself has a huge race shower hanging over its head. It was so wrong. It was clumsy.